The screen fades in on a quiet suburban street at twilight. Dim streetlights, long shadows slithering between parked cars. A lone figure walks briskly toward the camera, each footstep echoing in the stillness. Suddenly we hear it, a soft, sibilant whisper just behind. It stops when the figure turns abruptly. No one's there. The camera cuts to black. A voice comes in low and tense. They say you're never truly alone after sunset, and that whisper? It's not just your imagination. It follows me every night, and it led me home. Cut to our narrator's face, pale under the street lamp, curious, strained, on edge. It started innocently, but what followed nearly destroyed me. Caden's life was simple. Work at a local bookstore, short walks home, and quiet evenings alone. He preferred it that way, books to fill his mind, not people. The first evening it happened was ordinary. He left the store at 8 p.m., dusk settling like a blue veil over the town. The street was empty, except for the soft hum of that street lamp and a whisper, almost inaudible like wind through a cracked window. Caden. The name lingered in the air. He froze. Whose voice? Nothing moved. No one in sight. He shook his head and quickened his pace, dismissing it as fatigue or imagination. But the next night again, and the night after, each time a soft, drawn-out murmur of his name, Sandon. Sleep eluded him. He slept with the lights on. He replayed the moments over and over. His logical mind fought fear. The bookstore late hours, the street lamp flickering, creating auditory illusions. But the whisper didn't vanish. It grew. Part 2, the pattern emerges. Night 3, the whisper came earlier, halfway down the block. Caden froze, heartbeat thudding. He dared to reply, voice shaking, "Who's there?" Silence, then, "This way." The whisper seemed to drift from block to block, guiding him. That night he followed, for reasons he could not explain, and ended up at a dead end. The streetlights cast long fingers of shadow against the brick walls. He felt watched. He ran home and locked the door. He told no one. He worked the next day with dark circles under his eyes. But the whisper persisted, eventually slipping into his apartment. It called from behind his bedroom door. "Caden." He spun around, nothing. His lights flickered. The whisper coaxed him toward the window. He trembled. He trembled until dawn, fingers white on the glass. No sign of footsteps outside. Only silence. Part 3, the investigation. Desperate, he turned detective. He researched. Local legends spoke of the night caller, an ancient spirit drawn to those alone after sunset, lured by isolation, lingering until it claimed attention. It possessed voices, echoing memories, stirring fear. It fed on attention, growing stronger with each encounter. He scoured local libraries, combing through newspaper archives. A century ago, a recluse named Ezra Brown lived in Caden's block. He vanished without trace, but neighbors reported whispers at night, calling his name, guiding his steps until he disappeared. No body ever found. Just an open door, a torn diary, and silence. Caden returned home. The whisper was louder now, more distinct. Ezra. He paused. That was not his name. Ezra. He heard scratching at his door. He stayed still, voice screaming inside to flee. When the scratching stopped, so did the whisper. Part 4, the house is listening. Caden knew the smell of old paper. He found Ezra's diary in the archives, disjointed scribbles, frantic. He read that Ezra thought the voice followed him wherever he went, luring and manipulating. He ended with a single line, "It lives in the shadows. It wants others." The final pages were ripped out. That night, the whisper came before he reached his front steps, echoing more than one voice. Names. Familiar voices. A childhood friend, his bookstore manager, his father. All bleeding into a low symphony. Caden. Isra. Rise. Leave. He ran inside and locked every bolt. Heart racing, he shivered, turning circles. The lights flickered again. The whisper came from the hallway. Ezra. It was right behind him. Hands shaking, he grabbed a lamp, swung around. The shadow recoiled, disappearing into the dark. The whisper morphed. I'm here, always, don't forget. His mind fractured between reason and terror. Clutching the diary, he realized the only way to stop this was to confront it, to call it by its name, Ezra, to face the entity. Part 5. The Confrontation. That night, Caden said a simple ritual. Midnight in the living room with only a candle burning. The diary open, he spoke aloud. I know your name, Ezra Brown. You called from these streets a century ago. Why do you follow me? A gust of cold air swept the room. The candle hovered on the table like a heartbeat in time with his chest. The whisper returned, a chorus. Ezra, Ezra. The candle blew out. Darkness swallowed him. His breath froze. Then emaciated fingers pressed into his shoulder.